If the tree of life is real, so is the fourth commandment. If you believe the tree of life is real, then you must accept that the fourth commandment is just as real. You can't embrace the promise while rejecting the requirement. Revelation 22:14 draws a sharp line between those who enter the gates of heaven and those who are locked out. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life. That's not a metaphor, that's a divine condition. So let's confront the dangerous hypocrisy. Churches preach about heaven, streets of gold, eternal life, and paradise restored. But when it comes to the fourth commandment, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy, suddenly it's legalism, Jewish tradition, or nailed to the cross. Yet Revelation declares that only those who do his commandments have access to the tree of life, not those who reinterpret them, not those who ignore them, not those who swap them for man-made traditions. To every pastor who comforts people into disobedience, how will you answer for leading them away from the very conditions of eternal life? To every priest who replaces God's Sabbath with a counterfeit, how do you explain denying your followers access to the very tree God reserved for the obedient? To every imam who praises the Torah but breaks the Sabbath, what authority do you stand on when the law you claim to honor condemns your neglect? And to every skeptic and non-believer, if you believe in the reward, why deny the command tied to it? You cannot pluck fruit from the tree of life while trampling over the commandments that guard it. Genesis 2:3 proves the Sabbath predates Moses, Jews, and sin. And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it. It was the first thing declared holy, before there was death, war, or religion. And it will last beyond sin, beyond death, and into eternity. Isaiah 66:22-23 declares that in the new heavens and earth, all flesh shall come to worship before me, from one Sabbath to another. The Sabbath isn't a temporary ordinance. It is a divine rhythm etched into creation, redemption, and restoration. If the tree of life is real, then so is the path that leads to it. And the fourth commandment is not an option on that path. It is the signpost, the weekly reminder that God is creator, the covenant seal of his authority, the command he said to remember while the world forgets. Jesus didn't come to erase it. He came to embody it. Luke 4:16 says it was his custom to keep the Sabbath. He is Lord of the Sabbath, not Lord of its abolition. And in Matthew 24:20, he even instructed his followers to pray their flight wouldn't be on the Sabbath, decades after his resurrection. Why? Because the fourth commandment still mattered, still stood, still separated truth from tradition. So if the tree of life is real, if you truly long for eternal life in the presence of God, you must take the fourth commandment just as seriously. Heaven is not a reward for the lawless. It is a home for the faithful. The gates swing open to those who do his commandments. That includes the one written in the center of the 10, the one God himself emphasized with the word, remember. You cannot spiritualize it away. You cannot redefine it as symbolic. You cannot trade it for Sunday and still claim biblical authority. God never changed it. Jesus never changed it. The apostles never changed it. Only man did. And man's tradition will never grant you access to God's tree. So here's the question every soul must answer. If you believe the tree of life is real, do you live like the fourth commandment is too? Eternity depends on your answer.